So I'm back, and the first community feedback that I wanted to make mention of, is a Pinterest pin. Let's see if I can share my screen. This pin was an infographic I came across recently called 20 Productivity Apps to Keep You and Your Boss Organized. And I thought there were some interesting ones on here. It's kind of organized by whether it's an app for different devices or for Mac or Windows, or available in any browser. So there are email management apps, and many of these I hadn't heard of that are included on the infographic, including these two, both for Apple. One's called Dispatch, to help you empty your inbox quickly by archiving, storing, or marking items. And then the Swizzle helps you unsubscribe from emails and newsletters. Interesting. Apps that help you focus, Umail and Focus at Will. Stream music that is intended to boost your concentration and help you get in the zone. Task management apps, including AnyDo, Zenday, Socdot, Easily Do, Keep, Clear, and Evernote. Collaboration apps, Flow, Time Trade Mobile, and Google Now, Talkboard. And then apps for expenses, apps that help you make videos, and apps to stop procrastinating. So at least one of these 20 apps should help you and your boss on the road to more efficient, organized, and stress-free work life. Some of these are just really new to me, and some that I definitely want to go and check out. So check out that pin if you're interested in that. Next up, our friends at Concordia Publishing House are promoting the fact that they allow you to pre-order the Playmobil Martin Luther. It says he's faithful, he's fiery, he's little Luther. With his quill, his cap, and his German Bible, this little Luther Playmobil is ready to celebrate the 500th anniversary of the Reformation. And he is the fastest selling toy in Playmobil history. So he's coming to America, and they even have a countdown on their website in 21 days, 7 hours, 20 minutes, and 25 seconds. That would be July 1st, I believe. And you can pre-order him now from the Concordia Publishing House website. So cost is $10. And I think I'll be investing in a little Luther. They did something really creative. Said take his picture, take him on a road trip, whatever, and use hashtag little Luther on Instagram, and they might feature your picture of Luther in various locations on the webpage. So I thought that was a pretty fun way to get Luther out and about. I'm anxious to have a little Luther of my very own. All right, next up, I wanted to make mention of an email we received through our question and answer tool on the wells.net site. And I just really appreciated the insight this person shared. One of the things they'd like to see Wells make a greater effort at is to make sure all Wells churches have a contact us form, email address, and social media pages. This person indicated that they move around a lot, and they often are looking to find a Wells church by searching online and reading more about the church and getting connected via the web. And so without being able to get to that information online, it makes the new church search very difficult. And I just appreciated the writer's perspective, and I thought it was worth sharing here, just to give everyone who's listening a little bit more encouragement and underscore the importance of your digital communication and, you know, having your website up to date, making contact with people, making yourself available in those ways so that people that are searching the web can find your congregation or school and reach out to you and get questions answered and that kind of thing. So just a little for you to spur you on as you do the great work that you do managing websites for our churches and schools. And then lastly, I wanted to share something new from our friends at Faith Life. They're the people behind Logos, and they have a new offering called logoscloud.com where you can do subscription-based use of the Logos software. So normally Logos software and all the tools that come with it are available for fee-based, and that can get kind of expensive, and to have access to different books and things like that in your Logos. But now they're doing this Logos Cloud program, kind of like what Adobe's doing with their Adobe Cloud products, where you pay for the licensing on a monthly basis. And the subscription plans are starting July 1st. You can get a little preview of it. If you go over to logoscloud.com, you can sign up and get the month of June for free, so you can get your feet wet with a little bit of what they'll be offering. They have three different subscription levels starting at $9 per month, $20 per month, and $50 per month. And you can check out all the information about the program over at logoscloud.com. So be sure to stop there and check it out. Now I wanted to share a ministry resource with everyone, and it comes from our friends at the WELS Hymnal Project. One of the things that they have available on their website is a resources section, and an interesting resource they've made available are some archived newsletters. These are newsletters about conducting worship, and they were produced in the 1950s by Reverend Kurt Eggert and Professor Ralph Gerke, and they circulated this. It's titled Viva Vox, and perhaps I'm pronouncing that wrong, but it means the living voice, meaning the living voice of the gospel. And really interesting to go back and read these. And one of the things that's really interesting to read is that the same worship issues they faced in 1950 are still around here in 2015. One of the things that was published recently is a collection of graphics. It was part of the newsletter back in the 50s. It was called Our Path of Worship, and it was meant to portray the path of worship described in an article that was part of the newsletter. So you can read the newsletter, and then you can check out these graphics. And they've posted them out on Google Drive where you can download them and make use of them. The original Path of Worship graphic is here in a folder, and it shows starting with confession, moving through the service to the big focus on the word and the big focus on the sacrament, and then the thanksgiving that follows that. So prayer, praise, and thanksgiving as the path of worship. And they took those graphics and broke them down into each individual component. And then, as if that wasn't great enough, they modernized the path of worship. And there's a whole new folder that's more modernized that has the path of worship with new symbols attached to each portion of it, and the symbols are explained there at the bottom of the page. The same path, just more modernized, and we have to make a special shout out to Ian Welch, who is one of our WELS Tech Conference presenters. Really excited to meet Ian in a few weeks at WELS Tech Conference, and he is the talent behind these beautiful new images that were part of the Path of Worship update. So if you're looking for some imagery, and perhaps maybe you're teaching a Bible class on worship, or just want to use this as some imagery in your bulletin to explain the different components of worship, or whatever it may be, you can use the links that we'll provide in the show notes to head over to the WELS Hymnal Project and find those Path of Worship graphics. Thanks for sharing that, guys, and keep up that great work on the new WELS Hymnal. All right, we are ready to talk about our featured video of the week. And this one has a little story behind it. It's actually related to a quadcopter kind of camera that Pastor Rob Gunther shared with us. Pastor Gunther is always reading interesting things, and he said this one actually stalks you as you go on your adventures. So a pretty cool way to capture mountain hikes, fishing trips, and bear hunts. If you had an extra $500, and it's soon to be $1,000. So they're taking pre-orders now at that $500 level, but then it will be going up in price. So basically, you program it and wear a little device or carry a little device that it follows with you. They have a little waterproof case for it if you're doing something water-based or whatever. You throw it into the air and it will start following you. And there's a really cool video, we'll embed it on our show notes, where they demonstrate this. So if you're going, snowboarding, you throw it into the air and the device follows you as you're snowboarding and captures video of that. But it doesn't just follow you. You can tell it to go in front of you. You can tell it to loop around you if you want. You have to watch this video. It's just amazing. And I think just really underscores the amazing time that we're living in, that this kind of technology is available to us at a semi-affordable price. So maybe not a huge ministry application to it, although you just never know, but definitely make some cool videos, perhaps for school promotion or something like that. And fun to think about all the possibilities with Lily, the camera named Lily. Cameras even have names these days. All right, guys, I think we have made it to the end of this episode of Wells Tech. It's time for us to talk about episode 397, which will be broadcast at this same time next Tuesday afternoon, 4 p.m. Central at wellstechlive.wells.net. That show will welcome back Martin Spriggs, my talented and very much missed co-host on Wells Tech, and we will be talking about documentation. Wow, not a very exciting topic perhaps, but our friends at TechSmith in particular have some really great tools to make documenting things extra easy, and a very important task it is to kind of write down the processes you use for various techniques in your church and school. So join Martin and I next Tuesday afternoon at 4 p.m. for our discussion of documentation with TechSmith Fun. Looking forward to seeing you then, and looking forward to seeing you at Wells Tech Conference. So head over to wells.net/Wells Tech Conference for registration through next Monday. All of the information from today's show will be archived at wellstech.wells.net, and that's where you'll find links to contact us on a lot of different social media channels. You can leave a comment right there on that webpage, wellstech.wells.net. You can check out our upcoming show calendar and find the link to Wells Tech Conference, find all the archives. They're searchable. There's tons of great information there at wellstech.wells.net. So please do stop by, and don't be shy. We want you to join the conversation. We'll see you next week on Wells Tech.